I know that everything's interlinked and that we're part of a larger picture. As an individual, what can one do? What tools can one use when those things arise, when the next Andrew Tate inevitably comes, or the next movement of XYZ comes? What's the framework we can look at the situation to be a bit more even keeled, so to speak?
Don't panic. Don't take it personally. Don't be too hard on yourselves. I think they're the 3 rules that I hold on to. I think be aware of moral panic, because often that constructs and contributes to the kind of the support and the establishment of these sorts of thinkers. I think create space for open dialogue. Like, one of the things we do first of all is we shut down those conversations, and we assume that, like, any talk of this sort of stuff means that we're bad or wrong, we're going in the wrong direction. I think the more we shut down the conversation, the more we attribute shame and blame to people who are interested in these things, the more we reinforce their position, their alignment with it. The more we create that cognitive dissonance I was talking to you about before. The more we create this idea that they are somehow victims, and that these people with their simple solutions provide, the answer to that victimhood. And the more we feed it. And so that requires intellectual humility. It requires, a sense of inquiry, humble inquiry. It requires psychological flexibility. Again, cultural humility is an important thing as well, but it requires that we connect with each other as humans, see the person, not the rhetoric or the idea. And this is what social media has kind of supported, is it allows us in the same way. I don't want to say in the same way, because I don't want to make it like a parallel to the Holocaust, because that's not cool. But I've got to be careful, because I'm now going to say, but in the same way, you can dehumanize a person and turn them into an idea or an ideal or a rhetoric or a form of identity or a number. And when we cease to see the human, it justifies us doing some pretty shitty things to each other, and in the name of some kind of idealized sort of self-righteous thing that enables us to support our own sense of self and our own worldview, which is often constructed in isolation of all the other perspectives in the world out there. And so it involves us being able to learn from each other and grow with each other, so that we're not pushing each other apart. That's what, like, a lot of conversations in the contemporary, and it's not just the contemporary world, because it's happened in the past. But this is what a lot of stuff that happens on social media can actually contribute to, the dehumanization of those discourses and those rhetorics, the ability to actually push ourselves further apart, but also be immersed in these epistemic bubbles or echo chambers that only give us available information that supports our worldview, those cognitive biases that we talked about before as well. So stepping outside of our comfort zone is really important. Acknowledging our own prejudices and biases, even though we might be holding on to this sort of idea of rightness or wrongness. Letting go of that and connecting with real human beings. Acknowledging that each one of those human beings, like us, has a story that has formulated the mask that we wear, and the identity that we hold on to. And not trying to rip that apart from people, but try to understand it. Like your mechanism for understanding the world and biology, I'm interested in. I actually care about the story that's contributed to that, and I'd like to learn more. And I don't want to take that away from you, because it's obviously emerged from some experiences that serve you, and I'd love to learn about that. And I think that that's what the anthropological perspective has given me, and that's what the world can gain from being more anthropological. We can be a bit more humble, a bit more open, and a bit more willing to inquire into the different condition and the different stories of all the humans around us.